Hello, everyone. Again, this is Mr. Reimer. Sorry, I had to come back and make one more quick video in addition to our video on classical Persia because I didn't explain the processing assignment in that last video, and I can't tell you to do something unless I explain it. So we are analyzing classical Persian. We're making a get sick chart, and we're looking for the effects. And we were on this slide talking about governance in classical Persia. We were reading chapter 3, lesson 3, but this slide was blank. And we read a paragraph from the textbook. So before I made this next video, I added some information. So let's read it and then go find out where I got it. So in that paragraph, we learned governance was a monarchy. The king was called the Great King and had a lot of authority. It was centralized. 20 provinces, these things called satrapies, ruled by governor, a satrap, had a large professional army, bureaucratic administration of civil service officers, and influenced Greek and Roman empires. Now, where and why did I write that information down? Let's go back to the paragraph. So, we got to this paragraph because I noticed this bolded word monarchy, and it would send off alarm bells in my head saying, hey, that's information about the governance. So I wrote it down. It was bolded. Anytime something's bolded, you better put that in your notes. Did I have to write down a government ruled by a king or queen? No, I didn't have to write that down. I know what a monarchy is, but if you don't know what a monarchy is, perhaps you would want to write that definition down. All right, what else did I write down? King called the Great King and had a lot of authority. Where did I find that? Was at the center of this vast administrative. I didn't write that down. Persian monarchy, the Persian king. The Great King held an exalted position of tremendous authority. See, I put it in my own words. I simplified it. I just said had a lot of authority right there. But I kept the name because it was in quotes, right? So since it was in quotes, I thought it was important. Centralized. Okay, where did I get that? He held power of life and death over his subjects. I didn't think that was important. Government was centralized. Centralized in the person of the king. Centralized. We've talked about centralized. In ancient China, they had a central system. But I'm like, maybe I don't remember that. Where am I going to find information? Elsewhere in the book. If I look in this paragraph above, it starts out in addition to a centralized government. Must have been talking about that in the previous paragraph. Darius strengthened the Persian government. He divided the empire into 20 provinces called satrapies. There it is, centralized. The dividing of a state into provinces and then having those provinces ruled by someone, in Persia's case, a governor or satrap, literally a protector of the kingdom, ruled each province. Each satrap collected taxes, provided justice, and recruited soldiers. Now, who got to choose this satrap? The king. If we go back to this bottom paragraph, government was centralized in the person of the king. So there I had to go to another paragraph, but I got the information I need because I'm looking for characteristics of governance. What else did they have? A large professional army. Where did I get that? Same paragraph. Supported his rule by a large professional army. Do I know what that is? Professional. They get paid. They do it all the time. Army. People who fight for the state. All right, I know what that is. But bureaucratic administration, what is that? Sounds fancy. Maybe I don't know that word. Don't just put it in your notes if you don't know what it means. Look it up. Remember, there's this handy glossary. Bureaucratic starts with a B. There it is. An administrative organization that relies on non-elected officials and regular procedures. Non-elected officials. These people are appointed by someone. In the case of Persia, the king. So when you're writing stuff down from the book and you put it in your notes, don't write it down if it doesn't make sense to you. Go find out. Go look it up. All right. Last thing I put. Influenced Greek and Roman empires. Did I get that from the same paragraph? Yes. Proved effective and would influence empires created by the Greeks and the Romans. Now, why did I put that? I was remembering the objective. If we go back to the objective, the major effects of the development of the classical civilization. Effects are what happens because of something. So because Persia was a civilization, it developed, it influenced or had effects on other things. And according to the textbook, on Greek and Roman empires. So there's an effect. I found it in the book. And since it's my objective, I definitely wanted to have it in my notes. All right, to the task. So you on your own are going to make notes on the rest of the history themes. There's the T, interaction, the I, the C. All right, what I want you to do is respond to this prompt with an argument. What were the major effects and lasting influences of classical Persia? So notice I asked for you the major ones. When a question asks for major or most important, you don't need to put and shouldn't put every single one. It's asking you to make a judgment. It's asking you to decide on maybe one or two, three, not all. So here I'm looking for up to three, no more. You got to put at least one, but up to three. And I'm using the question words in my response. That is a great writing strategy. The major effects and lasting influences of classical Persia were blank, blank, and blank. Now, how am I going to fill in those blanks? What do I got to do? Well, first, you should write down all the effects you can think of. Go back through your Get Sick notes and highlight or circle the effects. Something that happened because of Persia. For example, Greeks and Romans were influenced by their government. So Persia had this governing style, system, and the Greeks and Persians adopted it. So because Persia had this, Greeks and Persians did this, right? Cause, effect. Persia was this, caused this event that had this effect on Greece and Rome. So go back through your notes and find these effects, circle them. Then you got to decide which were the major ones. How are you going to decide major? Well, still around today, influenced other societies like the one we were just talking about. It's for you. You're the historian here. You need to decide. Now, what are you doing? You're building an argument. Remember, in this unit, we're working on that skill of building an argument, writing a thesis statement. This is practice. What you shouldn't do is write an essay. A lot of students, as they're starting out, they make the mistake and they just think they got to write a whole essay. I don't want that yet. I just want you to tell me the major effects and lasting influences of classical Persian in one sentence. One sentence. So this is an example of less is more. All right. Let me know if I can help in the chat. I don't mind taking a look at some rough drafts and giving my feedback. Thanks for watching again. I'll see you next time.